Giants fans, we back at it again. The Giants were held to 1 of 10 on third down conversions. 1 of 10. No touchdowns from Russell Wilson. A system failure once again. Is it time for Dart to start, or is it time for Daboll to go? Which one is it?
Do a jersey swap, and you've never gotten one.
Never got it.
Did you ask him again tonight?
I don't even want it.
This is where we at, Giants fans. This is where we are at. Being disrespected by everybody. Now it's happening amongst the players now because we got Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, why didn't you get this man his jersey a while back before? It's Chris Jones. And then at the same time, I defended Russ. And Russ played bad. Keep throwing it up to Malik Neighbor. Let's move on. Let's move on.
So I thought we battled defensively. Had a good plan. They made a couple nice plays there in the second half, but there's a lot of things improved defensively. Gave us a chance. Thought we did a good job in the kicking game.
This is where we come into a different session right here. He said we played good defensively. So 1 week it's the defense. 1 week it's the offense. I'm starting to really think, was that coaching change that we had back with Joe Judge? Look, I ain't defending Joe Judge. Joe Judge needed to go. But the thing about it is when we got Brian Daboll, we thought we was getting the next Sean McVay. Now, with everything that happened with the Giants back in that time, when we did make that change, you got to think about it. You got to really put that into perspective. You have to really think about it that when we made that transition from Joe Judge to Brian Daboll, at that time, the team got a boost of energy. Now, was that more so of Brian Daboll being a new, fresh face? Or was it because of his football intellect and skills as far as coaching? As far as being a head coach, because it's not looking good these last couple seasons. Daniel Jones is off playing pretty good. I still don't think he's going to do that for a long period of time. That's just my opinion. But as he's off doing well, Saquon Barkley off doing well. I mean, everybody that leaves us goes on to have prosperous careers. Prosperous. Joe Shane need to be brought to the front of the congregation. Joe Shane. Like, there's a lot that's going on right now with the Giants organization. A lot of people got to be brought to the stand right now. They got to be brought before the judge. Who is this judge? Us, the fans. It's time out for this. Like, we've been going through this for so long. So long. And then at the same time, you can't say like, oh my gosh, like this is the thing with Brian Daboll. He makes a lot of bad coaching decisions. And when I say that, the offensive coordinator, you should have let go of Mike Kafka a long time ago. Y'all already bumped heads at one point about who's calling plays, who's calling this. Should have let him go. Your job is on the line. You should have let him go a while back. You should have let Mike Kafka go. You should have, Wink Martindale, when you fired him, you should have had a better replacement than Shane Bowen. I'm sorry, that defense game last game against the Chiefs. I mean, end of the day, you can say, oh, we played a good defensive game against the Chiefs, but when you look at it in its totality, the Chiefs still were playing bad offensively the last 2 games too as well. Yeah, we played against Patrick Mahomes, going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time when it's all said and finished. But at the end of the day, we couldn't tackle. Abdul Carter, what are you doing? What is he doing? Can't tackle? You need to get in the weight room, man. You got to get in the weight room, yo. Yeah, in the weight room, because like in college, he was terrifying cats. But here, it's like he's not even in effect like that. Like he plays, he's a rookie. I get it. I think we're looking for that rookie like Aiden Hutchinson, like how he's doing for the Lions. We thought Kayvon Thibodeau was going to do that, but I'm going to give Kayvon Thibodeau his credit, man, because he's been balling out this season. The defensive line been doing pretty decent. And I think Abdul Carter still, it can be great. I just think he needs to be on the D-line. I don't know what Shane Bowen got him at these little mini linebacker packages, because I don't think Shane Bowen know what he's doing anyway. Mike Vrabel called the plays in Tennessee when Shane Bowen was the DC at the time. So it doesn't even make sense that he's even the D coordinator. That don't make financial sense. That don't make physical sense. That don't make logical sense. Now, I'm going to give Joe Shane this. Joe Shane knows how to, find talent. But do we know how to? Does Brian Daboll know how to coach talent? That's the real question. Let's continue.
Game and fell short offensively. We ran the ball much better. Our passing game was not good enough, particularly on third down.
And that's why it's time for Jaxson Dart. This is why it's time for Jaxson Dart, because we need somebody to scramble out the pocket for teams to feel threatened. Russell Wilson trying to throw it deep every game. Like we did great last game offensive wise, but we can't do that every game. That's why that's why Brian Daboll, that's where coaching come into play, because you can't keep throwing it to Malik Neighbors deep every time. The Chiefs know what you were doing. You're losing this game off of coaching. That's a scheme. That's a schematical issue right there that we lost that game. Can I even blame the whole thing on Russ? What is going on with Brian Daboll? What is going on with Mike Kafka? You keep trying to throw it deep to Malik Neighbors every time. Teams know that. They're gonna pick it off. They watching it. They know you're gonna throw it to they know you're gonna throw it to Malik Neighbors, or they know you're gonna throw it to Wan'Dale Robinson. Put Jalen Hyatt in the game, let him run the drag. Look, I ain't no coach or anything like that, but my thing is, like, where's the creativity? There is none. If Jaxson Dart get in the game, it still ain't gonna be no creativity. It's just gonna be a scramble. I think Jaxson Dart is good in the full house. Like, they used that full house package last game against the Cowboys, which was great. They did it again this game with the Chiefs. They got snuffed. And at the end of the day, Cam Scatterbull, I like him. I think he's gonna be great. But coaching got to change. I'm done with the coaching of this thing. I'm done. Top to bottom.
So we were like 1 of 10 on third down. That's hard to sustain drives and put points on the board. So, but I thought defensively we did some good things, and then the kicking game we did as well. Tracy's got a shoulder. Graham got.
We did good in the kicking game, but we didn't kick on every possession. Makes sense.
Hurt during the defensive introductions before the game. He was out there kicking and got a groin, so he couldn't go first half. And then he said he can kick from a certain distance in the second half. So that's about it. Not good enough.
He looks very sad. He know it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end, man. And maybe if you would have been a little bit more nice to the media last season, your second and third season, you would have been probably still here. You can't be being Bill Belichick attitude every single time things don't go right and shutting the media down, because they got questions. We got questions.
Coach, what did you see in the way that they were playing in the secondary to limit Malik and Wan'Dale's?
Yeah, I mean, they played a fair amount of split safety. So, we got a bunch of split safety last week. Just didn't get the job done this week with it.
Why do you think you couldn't get Malik the ball? I mean, obviously didn't have a catch going into the fourth quarter there.
Yeah, we got to do a better job with that. No question about it.
You have to answer that question. I don't care about what the other team gonna find out. You are not Bill Belichick. If you want to take it to basketball, you are not Greg Popovich. You don't want to unleash the next scheme. Man, you just got to be open and honest. Tell the people what happened schematically of the reason why you could not get Malik Neighbors to football. Because, yes, it's Russell Wilson's fault, but that ain't all on Russell Wilson. Same, different QB, same story. It's time for Brian Daboll to go. It's time. It's time. It's time, man. It's.
You attribute that to game plan, quarterback?
Probably a collection of everything, Pat. Probably a collection of everything. Again, they were playing a lot of split safety coverage. They played it last week. Could be just a little bit different, but I'd say a collection of all that.
I got something I want to say. I know I keep stopping it, but I got something I want to say. The thing with Brian Daboll, he may be a great leader of men. You know what I'm saying? He may be a great player development type of coordinator. Maybe he need to focus back on offense. Maybe he need to go back to being an offensive coordinator, because head coaching is not for him. He may be great when it comes to, the intangibles of a team, leading the team. Like I said, leader of men. But when it comes down to picking the right personnel and scheming with Joe Shane about what players you want and what type of players you need, he's not good at that. Or what type of coaching you need, what type of defensive assistants or offensive assistant, OCs, offensive coordinators, and defensive coordinators. He's not the guy. He's not good. After this, I'm telling you, after this season, Mike Kafka gonna get fired. Brian Daboll, Mike Kafka is going right over back. He's going right on back to Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if anybody's seen after the game how lovey-dovey he was with Kansas City. He going right back over there to be an offensive assistant with Andy Reid and helping out Patrick Mahomes. Shane Bowen is going to go to New England with his old team, with Mike Vrabel. Obviously, Tennessee was his old team, but Mike Vrabel was his guy. He's going back over there. Brian Daboll is going back to Buffalo. Everybody going back to their rightful place because obviously this is not the job and the position for them. Let's go on to somebody else. He's going to say the same thing over and over and over and over.
Can you talk about your connection with Scatterboo?
Yeah, but Scatterboo had a great game. He's battling. He did some really good plays. I think he made some really good plays in some of the scrambles and plays that we had to make. He's got a great demeanor to him. I thought he did a really good job.
And the touchdown, the video?
Yeah, he did a good job just getting. I thought the line did a great job. Run blocking on that one, and him getting in the end zone was a good play.
Russ, how frustrating is it now that there's 2 games you guys have not been able to get a touchdown through the air and just kind of get this offense going a little bit?
Yeah, I think it was obviously disappointing. Thought we had, it was a close game. It was a battle all the way. It was a tight game. And I think that, we just needed 1 or 2 more plays. Obviously, I want to play better, for us and give us a better chance to win. The throw down the middle to Wandell, took a shot to him. They made a good play. And then, right before the half, I was trying to give one-on-one to Malik, and they made a good play on it. So, just try to give them a chance at it. And, they did a good job.
And I think that's where height come into play. Like Russell Wilson is kind of a little bit undersized. You know what I'm saying? Russell Wilson is a little undersized, and I think that's why height come into play. So the thing with the Giants, man, it's just Jaxson Dart may be starting next week. I really believe that. But this is really going to be the same story because Jaxson Dart probably going to do good for another 2-3 games. Remember that game last couple of seasons ago, back in 2018, 2019? Daniel Jones, that's when we didn't even have it. I don't think we even had Joe Judge at the time. But Daniel Jones came in the game as a rookie, man. He lit it up. He had 4 touchdowns against the Buccaneers, over 200 yards and over like 50 yards rushing or something like that. I think it was actually over 300 passing yards. He came in guns blazing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to make of this, y'all. I just don't know. I'm just going to, you know what? Let's just keep it like this. This is the state of the Giants. This is where we're at. This is the schematical era. This is the schematical era. This is the system failure from John Mara on down. John Mara should have said, look, Daboll, I think we need to let go of Mike Kafka. I'm just not seeing the offense. The offense don't look, the offensive line look good. That's the thing about it. But the offensive schemes are horrible. Offensive schemes is horrible. Like my thing is like Russell Wilson is not playing well. And I can I blame Russell Wilson? Because we blame Daniel Jones. Look what he's doing. Some people even blame Saquon. Even though it was never Saquon's fault. We see how great he is. But look what Saquon doing. Look at every player that left us. Even offensive linemen. That's all I got. Look, I go by the name Ayo Mike from High and Low Takes.